In my Bobby Smiles Destino's Fortnite training room, I wake up in the morning, confused and absent-minded. To wash away the drowsiness, I take a shower. Afterwards, I brush my teeth, do my skincare routine, and put on my femboy makeup, all while glaring at the bathroom mirror. Watching my reflection, the same person I've known since forever, looks back right on cue. Because aside from drastic weight changes over the years, my face is still on mine until the looking glass betrays. That's just a part of me that's scared of growing old speaking. I could write so many pages about the fear of growing old and other anxieties like it that I could pin them on a withered tree to make it bloom again, but those types of emotions are better suited for bluer days. I'm simply looking to blame something for the ravaging the passage of time will have on me. Because I know the mirror won't double-cross me. Whenever I glance at someone who was chopped, who was cooked, he never was a stranger. So whether it's because I took care or lucky genetics, I haven't changed much. However, if something did change over the years, well, I would have to say it's my eyes. They say the eyes are the windows of the soul, so what does that mean for mine? When you look at yourself, who do you see? You can never see yourself the way others do, so you can only rely on the person who you think you are. But how do I know who I am right now is me, as opposed to the person of the past? Because right now, I feel like I'm becoming my real self more and more, but it's possible I fell off and I've strayed away from myself because somewhere along the way, I forgot who I was a long time ago. I have changed for the worse, it's happened before. It's difficult to explain what it feels like. It's none of that. You feel like you're piloting a different body, it doesn't feel like you know. You are aware that the sunflower your parents planted is slowly rotting away. I don't know if it makes sense, but it's like being conscious while being in surgery. It's that sense of awareness and feeling of not being able to do anything. It's that, oh, that's my body I'm ruining. This is what reality has become. It's a sense of learned hopelessness. I don't have the photos to reminisce about, but the images are clear in my head of me back then, trying to put on a brave face without a sparkle in my eye. Let's just say, it wasn't a happier past. Today, I would like to think I'm so far the best version of myself, and little by little, I'll get closer when I finally get to greet them. But when I get there and grab their hand, who did I end up leaving behind? Back then, I wasn't living, but existing, rather. Which makes sense as to why I was so unhappy and why I would say I was in an Iron Maiden for a long time. Even if things are better now, here's the thing that doesn't sit well with me. It's totally possible that in 10, man, even 5 years from now, I'll look at myself and be unhappy or cringe too. It goes both ways. Maybe I'll look back at today and think, painted nails, dyed hair, and a t-shirt of a cute frog with the words "cum dumpster" written on it. What the fuck? I don't think that'll happen, but if it does, what happened to me? I can see the argument of having faces, kinda like how people had their emo, scene kid, and goth faces, but this is how I always want to look, and I don't plan on changing it anytime soon. I also can't help but think a lot of those alt kids reluctantly threw in the towel as a consequence of antiquated corporate drivel and societal pressure, not on their own volition. The older you get, the more mature you become, sure, but to turn to such an uptight bore, it doesn't make sense. That's the total opposite of myself. How can he not get it? Where is his whimsy? Why does he take life so seriously? And he's supposed to be my true self? Well, maybe I become a total square because of what life makes of me. This is where this question has always led me. Like, how do you even know who you are? I've had these thoughts lying on the floor for a long time and my mind is getting too cluttered. I'm starting to lean towards the idea that people don't have an inherent personalities. I think we're all sponges and we are what we see and hear. People are transformative and not set in stone. I am the way that I am, not because of destiny, but because of circumstances. I'm sure if instead of playing video games and drawing alone in my bedroom 24/7 when I was a kid, I instead played sports and had an active social life, I would be a completely different person today. A less neurotic and more sociable, conventional person. I bet that Bobby doesn't own the Undertale vinyls though. It's kinda like rocks. Rocks exist because of erosion and other natural stuff, not because destiny said, let there be rocks. Though on the other hand, extroversion and introversion are biologically determined, so even if I was pushed into that sporty, social butterfly lifestyle, I would always long for my loneliness. It makes sense. Everyone in my family is not the most social of folks who very much enjoy their own company, except for maybe my father. Bro is a certified yapper. Right now, it's a beautiful sunny afternoon, as if summer blew her last kiss goodbye, and there's not a ray of her tenderness in my cold, dark room. Since I've woken up, I haven't turned the lights on, and this shit fucking rocks. Dude, this is the perfect vibe to go binge some Nana or finish reading Princess Jellyfish. This is pretty cool. But those are natures, not really personalities. I guess they do play a factor though, so you will have preference towards certain ways of living. Life made me this way, and it is what it is. I've said my fair share of words on how I feel about myself, but aside from the issues I've talked about, overall I'm fine. I'm apprehensive to say I like the person that I am, but if things continue to go according to plan, I'm actually very excited to say so. I haven't had this much hope in a long time, but will I like the person that I am because it is the inherent person I was all these years ago, or because I shaped them this way? Did I flower or was I molded? Well, in my case, definitely molded. How much of myself really is me? Do I like something because I intrinsically like it, or because I was shaped and influenced by it? If so, how much of myself was shaped by the world? And if it's a lot, can I really say I am myself? Like when I was a pudgy little lad watching Naruto Shippuden, and I saw Pain, I fell in love with his character as Zan. His look stuck with me, which is why later down the line, once it was legal to make my mother ashamed, I got into piercings. So it wasn't a natural inclination towards body modification, but it was a choice motivated by exterior influences. If I never saw Pain, would I still have gotten piercings later on because something else would have influenced me to go that path? Think of it this way. Do I love Five Nights at Freddy's because it influenced me, because it was a huge part of my developing years? Or do I like it because it has aspects I already have a natural inclination towards, like horror and mysteries? The obvious answer is both, duh, but centrist talking points almost never contribute to anything. I posted a poll on my community post asking you if you know who you are. It's kinda crazy. First of all, I didn't expect to get that many votes, thank you very much. Secondly, almost half of you voted I don't know. I kinda expected it, but seeing it for real, it's kinda wild when you really think about it, right? You've been with yourself since forever, so why should it be this way? I voted I don't know too, as much as I like this little guy. I wanted to say yes, but I don't know. I like to think I do, but I'm not sure. I don't think I am who I used to be, and I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. The more I think about it, I don't know, especially since I'm undergoing a physical change. Once my metamorphosis is done, I'll make a follow-up video. I think it'll be interesting. A lot will change and I'm only scrapping the surface of this conversation. I could make 2 more videos around this subject alone. There's this great quote from a famous French-Polish philosopher, Durkheim Martel, that said, "I wish I lived in the present with the gift of my past mistakes." We learn very well from mistakes because their pain, shame, and regret shapes us. They are a part of us. But if you learn from the mistake of others, are you shaped more by others than by yourself then? Personally, I don't even think learning from the mistake of others is real, though that may say more about me than anything else, because I don't run with wise men. I'm the type of person who has to have his tongue burned when the waitress says the food is hot. I think it was last week I was having a nice chit chat over some burgers with my friend who got out of a relationship, and he gave me some advice and red flags to look at in women. Bro got his first girlfriend and now he acts like Casanova. Never touched a woman beforehand, but now he's a Riddler apparently. Anyways, I listened to him and I'll keep his words in mind, but like I said to him, I'm still gonna make those mistakes. I'll believe it when I see it, little bro. It doesn't help, I'm an arrogant asshole who loves to gamble. But I mean, Lady Luck must think I'm charming enough to let me kiss her hand, since she helped me turn $20 into $120 when I played blackjack at the casino. By the way, the boys I was with, they each lost $50. And everything I've said until now is just what I think, because there's also the physical. I mean, Jinx Monsoon put it so beautifully when she said, "You take control of your appearance so that the world sees on the outside who you see on the inside." Which is why it's such a cruel joke when you feel a certain way, but you can't express it, not being able to materialize it because of what you look like. It's a scar on many people's hearts. The physical appearance and the psychological are a symbiotic relationship after all. I look a certain way, which makes me more likely to act a certain way, which ends up defining me, for better and for worse. In Japanese culture, there's a term buriko to describe young women who act childlike and naive. So it comes as no shock when I say the girls who partake in that, I guess, aesthetic tend to be innocent looking, cute, neotic women. It makes sense. It's the reason why if you saw a huge roided Chad with a My Melody backpack on, you'll think it's funny because of the incongruency. So a huge part of my being lies in the well of the way I look. Cut the supply to that, and a good chunk of my identity dies alongside it. If I go bald, if I experience femboy death, and I start looking like a scrotum, the confidence, or the foundation rather, of who I was has now crumbled. If I can no longer charm women to get free cigarettes, then what's left of me? Who am I? Despite everything, it's you. I love that quote so much, a lot of quotes today, because no matter how much mental turbulence you'll undergo, yeah, despite everything, it is me. But in a physical sense, am I? Maybe not, but I am more than my face. I'm still funny, I'm still stinky, I still have my memories. Even if parts of me fades away, I can reveal myself into something better as the ship of Jesus. There's this whole thing, I thought I was spinning this whole time. No, it's the ship of Theseus. You people have spoken. I voted no. But so yes, I'm working on the Blender tutorial. Thanks everyone for voting. See you next time. Mostly women. What the fuck?